Adamah and Liam's Love and Retribution Part 3. Liam hadn't called Adamah to confirm his departure or arrival. She cooked dinner early because she hadn't eaten breakfast or lunch, but yogurt. Usually, she cooked for 2 days. She liked fresh salad, so she made it every day. Being meticulous, she walked into the dining room and set the table. After she had cooked, turned off the burners, and gone to the bathroom to shower. Adamah dressed and headed to the dining room. The doorbell rang. She was famished and didn't want to entertain visitors, only her stomach. Adamah opened the door. She froze in shock and confusion at the sight of Liam. Her heart pounded frantically. She clutched her chest, took a deep breath to compose herself, struggling to process what she was seeing. Liam flashed a broad smile and said, "Surprise." His presence overwhelmed her. It seemed to heighten her senses. She stared blankly, eyes wide, as memories flooded her mind. Standing there like a statue, she recalled how they once were. His eyes, the side glances, his smiles, his dimples, his voice, his lips, their first kiss. The lips that kissed her and made her feel more alive than she'd ever felt in her 14 years on this earth. The intense pleasure from every kiss, these lips that excited her to the highest point. The lips that made her cry with unfamiliar, wonderful feelings were shared during adolescence. The lips that betrayed her. These memories rushed through her, fueling her adrenaline and reigniting her passion and hatred for him with even greater intensity. She hadn't expected to see him standing there at her door today with such feelings. Then, the memory of what he did flooded her mind, those lips that betrayed her. She felt disoriented because the ecstasy and confusion she experienced at the sight of him made her dizzy. Just like the first time he kissed her, she lost her balance. In a quick motion, he caught her in his arms. Liam held Adamah in his arms and asked, "What's wrong with you, Ada? You are no longer 14 years old, and I didn't touch you. You were fainting. You were passing out on me. Are you okay?" Tacitly, she replied, "Yes. Are we going inside, or do you prefer to stay in my arms? As much as I want to hold you, you must sit down." "I apologize. I was about to eat dinner when the doorbell rang. I hadn't eaten all day, I was a bit lightheaded. I apologize. What an embarrassment. You came to visit, and I welcome you in this manner. I'm sorry. Please, come in, come in. What an outstanding welcome, my dear. I didn't expect this melodramatic greeting, like passing out right in my arms. But what I did expect was at least an embrace or a handshake to welcome, not what you've displayed." He kissed her cheek and asked, "Are you okay, Ada?" She smiled and nodded yes. "I'm happy you are okay." Adamah asked, "How was your flight? I thought you would call me when you'd landed. The flight was good, faster than expected, because it was an early departure. I didn't call because I wanted to surprise you." "Surprise?" Smiling, she said, "Yes, I am shocked. You are carrying luggage. I thought you'd go to your mom's place before coming to see me." "Oh, please, make yourself comfortable." After a moment in retrospect, he said, "I said I was coming to see you, but you misunderstood me. Perhaps it was because I mentioned my mom's apartment." She said, pleasantly looking at him, "You've changed. Who told you to get old? You even have a few gray hairs. I'd visualized a younger Liam, not this old you." He laughed aloud. The dimples were more pronounced than she'd remembered. There had not been a single day she didn't look back and think of Liam. Now, he was right in her living room. "Do you believe that time would stand still for us?" She wrinkled her nose and said, I know. We have no more baby faces." She said, "I was about to eat. Are you hungry?" He nodded. Adamah said, "Give me a minute, I'll set a place for you. It's evident you weren't expecting me today." "You've said it," she said with a smile. "You look tired," she said with concern. "I'll get everything at the table, I'll be right back." "Okay, I'm famished, feed me. Feed me." Adamah smiled. "I want to go to the washroom for a moment. Where is it?" "Oh, okay. There's one by the hallway to your right." Minutes later, Liam came out of the bathroom and headed toward Adamah's bedroom, where the door was left ajar after she got dressed, letting out the scent of the scented lotion. He entered her room and invaded her privacy by touching her belongings, removing the covers from the round boxes she had stacked. Some held church hats, the others held shoes she rarely wore. After examining the contents, Liam lifted the lid of another box. Adamah entered the room and saw him. She said, "Oh. There you are. You went into the main bathroom instead. I thought the bathroom by the hallway would be easier to find. Dinner is served." Then she walked out of the bedroom. He didn't reply, but followed her into the dining room. The table was set differently this time. It was more elegant with delicate bone china, Christoffel flatware, and Masséna crystal wine and water glasses. The culinary spread was a feast for the eyes. The meal exuded an absolute, alluring, and savory fragrance. Liam smiled as he sat across the table from Adamah, looking at her. The table sets for royalty," he joked. He examined the table from one end to the other, and said, "You bedecked the table and put on it a buffet. But something important is missing." She looked at him questioningly. He added, "It's avocado. I love avocado. I eat it with almost every meal except breakfast. It's a healthy fruit. Is there a bodega or supermarket nearby?" Adamah nodded. He said, "I'd like to buy a couple of avocados." Adamah said, "Of course, there's a supermarket nearby. After the meal, I'll go buy you a few." Then she said, "I liked avocados as well, but when I was pregnant with my daughter, I ate mangoes daily. One day after eating one, I got sick. I thought I was going to faint. I guess my daughter had had enough of both mangoes and avocados, so I stopped eating those fruits. Afterward, I never wanted to look at them." Adamah took her regular portion of food. Although she put the fruit and the salad in separate bowls, Liam combined them and started eating. She made a mental note that he liked savory foods. She smiled but said nothing. He said, "The meal is flavorful." They ate in silence. After finishing her part, she drank a glass of water. Liam, in turn, kept putting an assortment of all that Adamah placed on the table onto his plate. He asked, "Why did you stop eating?" "I'm done eating," she said, smiling. "I was starving." "Ada, I don't understand. What do you mean, you've finished eating? You've hardly eaten." "I've eaten enough. No wonder you are so thin. You must eat more." He began dishing out more food for her. "Here you go, my dear, start eating." "But Liam, I don't want to eat anymore. My stomach is full." "Babe, you must eat. Look at you." Reluctantly, she took a mouthful of food. "That's better. I'd like you to gain a few pounds. Maybe your weight is okay with you, but you need some flesh on you." "You mean to say that I'm only skin and bones?" He chuckled and said, "I would never say such. I'm just concerned about your health, that's all. Thank you for your concern, but I'm okay, I'm healthy. Besides, I must leave room for dessert." She reached for a strawberry chocolate to enjoy with her wine. He smiled and squinted at her. The atmosphere was friendly. His eyes were like the dawn as he looked at her. Some people, as they get older, become dashing. That was Liam. They finished their meal, had strawberries, and walked into the living room carrying a glass of wine. She sat on the sofa. He sat beside her and jokingly asked, "Lightheaded, are you okay after eating?" She nodded yes. "Tell me what's been going on with you." She smiled while sipping her wine, but didn't say a word. He stretched and plaintively said, "I'm so tired. I hadn't slept for 24 hours. I'm exhausted." "What do you want to do? Sleep? I'll shower and then nap if you don't mind." She smiled but felt a mix of emotions about the developments. "Okay," she said. "You've started familiarizing yourself with the house, so do what you've said. We'll see each other later when you wake up, or maybe in the morning. If you need anything, please let me know." "I will, thank you." Checking the time, it's almost 9 o'clock. "I'll see you later." As he walked into the bathroom, smiling wickedly, he said, "I need your help with something." "Okay, what is it?" she asked as she stood up. "I put fresh towels and washcloths in the bathrooms earlier today." "Okay, thank you." He unzipped his luggage, grabbed a shaving kit and other items, and then said, "Please, follow me to the bathroom and help me wash my back." "You want me to do what?" "Wash your back? Thanks for the offer. It's very tempting, but I'll pass. The bathroom won't be able to contain us." Liam smiled. Adamah walked into the dining room to clear the table, but instead, she sat down, pondering on what was happening. Liam spoke to her so freely as if they were a couple. He might have had an ulterior motive for being at her home, acting as if he belonged there. Why had he invited himself into her house, gone through her belongings, wanting her to go to the bathroom? Why had he given her side glances as he used to years ago? No, that was not the plan she had in mind. Liam walked out of the bathroom bare-chested, with a towel wrapped around his waist. She turned her eyes away because she didn't want to look at his bare chest. He approached her, smiling and said, "Ada, please, do me a favor. Will you please put some lotion on my back?" She didn't know why, but he began to explain. This time, he spoke sincerely. "I have difficulty reaching my back." Sitting on the couch, he gave her the lotion to do the assignment. Feeling guilty about touching him, she reached clumsily and took the bottle of lotion from him. Her friend's words echoed loudly in her mind. She gathered all her effort to touch his nude back. Having this close contact had never crossed her mind, it wasn't on her agenda. She performed the task as she would for herself. Smiling, he said, "Thanks. I appreciate it." "You are welcome," she said casually. "Are you going to bed now?" "Yes, I'd like that." He got up and went into Adamah's bedroom without a second thought. But, Adamah started stammering. However, Liam left the door ajar, got into her bed, and automatically went to sleep as if his sleep pattern was an on and off switch. Adamah stood there silently for a long moment, listening to Liam's snoring. Then, she went into the kitchen, tidied up, and made a menu for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Nodding, as if questioning what she had gotten herself into. It was around 10:30. Adamah turned on the TV to watch a movie. After a moment of thought, she entered the bathroom to get ready for bed, but realized she needed her sleepwear from the main bedroom. Sighing, she tiptoed to the bedroom and retrieved them. Fortunately, she always maintained a climate-friendly home. Liam was sleeping, wearing just the bottom of his pajamas and socks. Seeing this carefree Liam, Adamah smiled and nodded. Adamah watched a movie and seemed to enjoy it. It was about a young man who traveled overseas in search of a better opportunity. His mother and her 2 grown children were praying for him to prosper there. The mother asked God to give her son his green card. While her other children listened to her lengthy prayer, they fell asleep on their knees. The movie lasted longer than she had expected. The room she had prepared for Liam was empty. Feeling tired, she lay down on the couch. Still, she couldn't fall asleep. Her mind was in turmoil, and her heart was pounding like a teenager in front of a boy she liked. She was restless. Her stomach felt tight, as if she were short of breath. She placed her hand on her chest, her mouth agape as if having a panic attack. She reminded herself that Liam couldn't be trusted, and she was upset by the mixed feelings, because things were changing so quickly and unexpectedly. Liam was sleeping in her bedroom when he was supposed to be at his mother's apartment, or even better, in his marital bed, not on Adamah's bed. The plan was for her to see and talk to him, then he would leave. Even before her friend's advice, she should have asked him to back off when he called. But she was too captivated by the idea of seeing him. Finally, she fell asleep for a couple of hours. Adamah woke up a little after 7 in the morning, feeling a bit tired, but she got up anyway to prepare breakfast. Peering into her bedroom, Liam was lying on his back but still asleep. She wore a robe and an apron and went to the kitchen to start cooking. 20 minutes later, she woke Liam to get ready to eat breakfast. A few minutes later, he came to the dining room relaxed, looking dashingly handsome and in a good mood. Smiling, he said, "Good morning, gorgeous. How was your night?" He kissed her on the cheek and then sat across from her. He said while roaming his eyes across the table, "Wow, Ada. You are spoiling me. If you keep this up, I don't know." Adamah stopped his speech and said, "You are my guest, Liam. I have to treat you how I'd like to be treated." "In this case," he said, while he gave her side glances, "I know what I have to do." Adamah waited for him to finish his phrase, but Liam's repressed words left her in a complex state. He gave her an intense and ardent look that ignited a fire inside her. She tried guarding herself. To describe her feelings, one could call it warfare between her heart and her mind because of the torrential emotions raging within her, which drained and enervated her. It was getting harder and harder to resist his charm, which filled her with fear. You are a good cook, dinner was great. Now breakfast. I can hardly wait for lunch. He gave side glances while he asked, why did you spend the night on the couch? Someone slept in my bed last night, although another room was ready for him. He smiled at her. Ooh, those dimples took her breath away. She said, besides, I was watching a movie. I decided to sleep there when it was over. I understand. But when you didn't come to bed, my first intention was to carry you to your bed, but I had a second thought and decided to leave you where you were. He smiled wickedly, because I didn't want to arouse you. I meant to say I didn't want to wake you up. Adamah made a facial expression and then said, I understand and appreciate your thoughtfulness. He tasted his hot cocoa and said, what did you put in this hot chocolate? She replied, this is not instant, my dear, it's imported chocolate. I like to simmer the aromatics, star anise, cinnamon stick, and a couple of slices of ginger. He nodded. Sipping the hot cocoa, then looking at Adamah, he said, you know I have 3 children, I know you have a son and a daughter. How many children do you have in total? With an astonished smile, she said, so, you knew about my first child. And then she said, like biblical Gomer, the wife of Hosea, I have 3 children, a son, a daughter, and a son. Liam chuckled, shrugged, and said, you are droll. I also have my children in the same fashion. Wow, what a coincidence. Where are your children now? Because the nest is empty. Adamah thought for a moment and said, yes, it is an empty nest. She chose not to elaborate. At this time, the conversation was opened for Adamah to begin questioning Liam. She looked at him and smiled, so, you knew about my son. My son, she said. Yes, I went to Dave's house several times, but didn't see you. I knew your father was overprotective of you, seeing what he did to you the last time he saw us together, so I thought he had made you stop seeing me. David gave me the cold shoulder. Koa ignored me. Smiling, he said, I was afraid of your father. Months later, I heard that you were pregnant. I was astounded by your pregnancy. Why did you let that happen? Adamah was scandalized and infuriated. Tears ran down her cheeks. He reached out to hold her hand, but she pulled away from him. Breakfast was now over. What is it, Ada? You are in pain. Stop crying and tell me what's wrong. I want to share your pain. Speak with me. Release your excruciations on me. Did I cause or am I causing your anguish? You said you had questions. I'm listening. Tell me what I did to you, honey. I'm sorry. It was about 8:15 in the morning. Adamah wasn't accustomed to drinking alcohol. She took a glass and the leftover wine from the night before. She smiled as tears ran down her face. He kept quiet, but his face indicated deep concern for Adamah's emotional state. Whatever had caused her such pain was deeply rooted in her heart and mind. She put the bottle on the table, raised her glass, and said, to you, Liam, you know how to kill someone's spirit. Liam was stunned at Adamah's statement. She gulped down the entire glass of wine while tears flooded her face. Poor Adamah. She wanted to show Liam that she wasn't that 14-year-old girl he knew, but the scene she had in her mind had emanated differently. Despite her efforts, she couldn't remain strong and seemed to regress to the time she was in love with Liam, to that 14-year-old girl. She poured another glass of wine, lifted the glass, and said, to Liam, my love, the torturer of my mind. Liam nodded in shock. Adamah looked at him and said, you hurt me. You destabilized me. I felt hurt to the core. You threw me into the fire, Liam. How could you? The pain was so great that it ravaged my soul. I wanted an early sunset because it would have been preferable. I would rest and feel no more pain. She became emotionally unstable. Oh, I don't think hell is as bad as where I was. Ada, you told me I'm the source of whatever is going on with you. I'm sorry. I am sorry, but what exactly did I do to you? How did I hurt you? He moved closer to her. I'm sorry. Please, come down. Can you remind me what I did or said to you that caused you such excruciating pain for so long? She looked at him and nodded. He said, I kept thinking, but I could not recall what I'd done to you. I thought you'd broken up with me without telling me. When I spoke to David, he didn't tell me I'd hurt you in any way. He was nonchalant with me, which is why we lost contact. I told you that Koa didn't talk to me. I guess he and Koa were hurting, too. I had not seen you until yesterday. Adamah's eyes lingered on him. She nodded and said, I saw you. After a few seconds, she didn't explain. He waited a moment for Adamah to continue, but she took another mouthful of wine instead of unriddling her statement. She gulped the liquid and said, Yes. I saw you kissing Rose on the veranda of her parents' house. Liam hung his head down in shame. Her mind was filled with recollections of that Sunday afternoon, seeing him with Rose, the girl he was dating, while he was with Adamah. Adamah added, her voice broke with a mixture of pain and resentment, I stood there watching you, Liam, but you were too occupied to notice my presence. As an adolescent, I had trusted you with all of me. I believed in love. I thought we would love each other forever. I'm sorry, Ada. She continued as if she didn't hear his apology. That was what I had in mind, forever with and loving you. Your actions destroyed me. You destroyed my confidence. You destroyed everything I believed about love. It was a troubled scene Liam was watching. Adamah gulped down the rest of the wine. Trying to get up, she fell back on the chair. She started crying again. The pain was so excruciating, so horrendous, they called my emotions depression. She gave a maddening laugh and said, Oh, I didn't know if Jesus, my first love, was punishing me because I laid aside my feelings for him since I met you. Ada, I apologize. I didn't know if you went through this much pain. I didn't know if you knew about her. I'm sorry. I was young, we were young. Her eyes widened in disbelief. So, you were young. Was that an excuse to be egotistical? Young as I was, I would never think of doing such a thing to you because my heart and mind were too involved with you. Even now, I have misgivings about men because of you. Probing his eyes, she asked, Why were you so wicked with me? Tell me why you had to have another girl or multiple girls when I thought you were mine and I was yours. Tell me why you've never loved me. My love for you was pure. Liam's face showed compassion for her. Grinning with tears, she said, I remember when you put my hand at your gate and said to me that it was mine. I believed you. I knew I was yours because I had unquestioningly given my heart to you, so seeing you with another was hard to bear. Ada, please, stop. She said, every time the scene played in my mind, I would close my eyes and hold my head because the flashback was like a dagger in my heart. Why were you with her? Wasn't I a good kisser? Perhaps she was more mature and more experienced than I was. She gave an inebriated laugh and said, You were so reckless with my heart and emotions, Liam. You were so wicked. Liam entered the kitchen. He prepared a cup of coffee and gave it to her. Ada, drink this to help sober you up, then try to nap, he said, giving her the cup. Let me be, betrayer. Seeing you reminds me of the past and of my deep love for you. No, it was more like infatuation or madness or lack of discernment. You betrayed my trust and put a dagger in my heart. You pulled it out, then cut it up into a million pieces and threw it at me to put it back together. She started punching his leg. Liam, I hate you. Liam, I hate you. Liam, I hate you. I hate you, Liam. I hate you. Holding her shoulders, he said, Ada, hush. I am sorry. Please, calm down. I was a thoughtless boy. I am so sorry to have put you through all this. He took her into her bedroom, put her down on the bed, and sat there watching her cry herself to sleep. Liam went into Adamah's bedroom 1 hour later to check on her, but she slept soundly. He went to the opposite side of the bed, lying down beside her, and fell asleep. Liam woke at almost noon 1 o'clock. As he moved to get out of bed, Adamah woke. I apologize for arousing you. I wanted you to rest longer. How do you feel now? He asked and lay back down facing her. I'm okay, but with a little headache, but it will eventually pass. I'm glad to hear that. He said with an apologetic voice, "My heart was torn for you, for your excruciation, knowing I'm the author of it, that exasperated and shamed me. Can you please find it in your heart to forgive me?" At that time, it wasn't a big deal to go around kissing girls and bragging about how many girlfriends one had. Boys that age believed that behavior made them popular. But it was only kissing. Why did you take it to heart? She looked at him furiously and asked, "What did you say?" "But it was only kissing. Liam, it was not a peck on the cheek. You kissed her the way you kissed me, she was your girlfriend. I knew what your kisses meant to me, how I used to feel when we kissed. You gave her all of you without scruple of conscience." Wow, I apologize. My assessment of the situation differed. I overlooked that aspect until you brought it to my attention. I did not exist when you were with her. So, I didn't want to look at you afterward, that was why I didn't go to Koa when I knew you would be there. You made everything clear to me that I wasn't wanted, nor was I important to you. Liam gazed at her seductively and came closer to kiss her lips, perhaps to stop her from voicing these cutting words. I encourage you to follow part 4 of the narrative and through to the end. It is engaging and astonishing. It will be a delightful and memorable journey. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe and share.